Good evening, good morning, good afternoon everybody, depending on whatever time you're watching this video. It is time to take a look at another LEGO Star Wars buildable figure. Now, I've kind of given up with the LEGO Star Wars buildable figures over the past couple months. I've technically stopped reviewing the action figures ever since August when I've ended officially with the Hero Factory stuff. But there were a couple unopened buildable figures that I wanted to get. For example, last time I recently did the 2018 buildable Darth Vader, and this one was one of the OGs that was released in 2015 when the buildable figures first premiered, which was Commander Cody, clone Commander Cody. And of course, he's the only clone trooper in action figure form. I really wish LEGO paid more attention to these guys, maybe made a Captain Rex or something. But hey, it's a clone. How could I possibly miss out on this set? So of course, I bought this and built it for $50 to do this video. So before we take a look at the figure itself, let's show you the box that he comes in. It's a very, very small box, one that you can easily hold with one hand easily. And original price of this, I believe, is like $20 to $30 or something like that, which was on the pricey side, but he's one of these smaller, less piece figures with only 82 pieces. As you can see, he's set 75108, and then the background of this box, I would love to appreciate it. I think it is Geonosis, with the clone brothers running in the back with the ATEs and with the LAAT gunships. And then here's the back of the box with all the other Wave 1 figures. At this point, I've done Vader, Grievous, and Kenobi, and Cody. I have not done Jango Fett and Luke. Luke I will never ever do, but Jango Fett I will consider it if you guys really want to see it. Then I will consider getting Jango Fett, because I already did Boba Fett, so there's that. And yeah, that's the back of the box. Measurement of Cody is 23.5 centimeters. So that is the box. Alright, let's take a look at the figure himself. Of course, these are all built with the CCBS, the Character Creature Building System. And this is one of the first times where it was introduced to Star Wars. And although the majority of the population wasn't well received by every single LEGO Star Wars fan, I myself, as a former Hero Factory fan and just a CCBS fan, really appreciate it. Some figures looked absolutely terrible, like Jin and a bunch of other ones, but there's some figures like this guy, Cody, that's been totally underrated and is looking absolutely fantastic, and just not enough people give enough appreciation for these figures. So I gotta say, being the only clone trooper figure to be made, they've done a great job at this. I mean, I am so happy with this, although there are some very much exposed CCBS joints, but apart from that, it is all pretty well covered. He's got this massive long rifle, which makes perfect sense because that's what the clones mainly used, except for Rex, who mainly used the pistols, but Cody didn't, so they nailed this pretty right. Although the rifle itself is pretty simple, LEGO still did the best they can with this, and they pulled off pretty well, and honestly I'm just really happy with it. And obviously it's gonna be a little bit awkward when positioning, because when he's holding it he's actually connected with both hands right here, and so positioning will be very limited. You're gonna have to like really get some good angles. This one looks like he's just reloading, and to really get into good firing position you kind of have to do this, kind of make it look like he's holding it like a machine gun. You can't really like bring a proper upright position because it's just the way the rifle is built. Or you can do like this, where he's like shooting to some flying battle droids or something like that. But in a proper eye level position, you're gonna have to really do some serious adjusting to pull off something like that. So let's remove the rifle for now, and let's see what the rest of the figure looks like. Now I do wish that, I will say, an improvement could have been, LEGO could have included, like, you know how the Technic pin should have been one of those rounded ones instead, so you can actually, the handle will stay in one spot but can adjust alongside the rifle depending on the position you are rotating it, so therefore you can pull off some pretty neat poses. Unfortunately, they didn't do that, but oh well. I think that's the best solution to solve it. So now here is the rest of the figure. Now with the rifle guy, you can see the completely exposed body armor piece very clearly. Very nice prints on it. Of course, it's super exclusive, and of course it has all of Cody's battle markings and everything, given that he is a war veteran and he's been through a lot. The shoulder armors, or as Star Wars fans would call them, pulverons or something like that. Nice round armor pieces here. That's very nice compared to the normal white one, but Commander Cody is known in the 212th Battalion, so it makes sense that he has something like that. And then the head, of course the head is specially molded just for this figure, and it is really, really nice. It's a little bit on the flat side, but I really think LEGO did a great job molding this together and make it look really accurate to what he actually looks like. Sweet! Now, of course, there is no such thing as regular clone troopers. You can attempt to take his orange stuff off to make it, but I wouldn't advise it. But it's all molded together, and I just think LEGO has done a really good job of this. He's also got an antenna for communications back at base. This is his back. He has this, not a jetpack, not necessary. It's just to cover his back. And of course, from certain angles, you will see his torso underneath kind of exposed, which is a little bit unfortunate, but you won't look at the back too much, which is good because they've also covered the shoulders here with number 3 armor pieces, which is good. They tried their best with the coverage, but of course there are still some very much exposed bits, and then there's a number 4 armor piece attached on the back down here. The legs are very simple, straightforward, normal clone armor piece, which were new for these figures. Kind of wish there was friction adders up here. There's friction adders down here, but there's no friction adders up here, which will really, look at this, makes his legs super flexible, and a little bit of resistance would have been nice, so you can really make some even cooler poses without the risk of him just falling over. Kind of a missed out opportunity right there. And as for the armor, this is a plain old simple number 6 armor, but this one's a special printed one, orange one, just for Commander Cody himself. So there's that. So overall, not a bad figure, but could really use improvements. There were some ways where it fell, and there were some ways where it completely succeeded. Definitely one of the more underrated figures, that's for sure, as I've said in the beginning. I really wish people paid more attention to these buildable figures, because yeah, some are terrible. The theme eventually died out because, you know, just the majority of the population was getting a little bit sick of LEGO buildable action figures, unfortunately. But I myself didn't, but oh well, I'm only one person. So definitely, he's underrated, and I really think this deserves way more attention than Jin, than the other ones, the actual bad ones, and just give more appreciation and love to this one, especially because he's from the Clone Wars, and everybody loves the Clone Wars, everybody loves the prequels, and everything about clones. And he's from the 212th Battalion, which is, if you don't know, is led by Kenobi. So, yeah. So honestly, as a score, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. There are some areas where could use some work. For example, friction adders, coverage on the back, and so much more. And of course, the rifle could use some work. But apart from that, this is a pretty solid figure. I would highly recommend you guys to get it if you have the time and money. And one of the better Wave 1 figures for sure. Obviously nothing can top Grievous, but Cody's definitely up there with him. One of the cooler ones. And just in LEGO Star Wars buildable figures as a whole, Cody definitely comes out on one of the top ones as well. Like I said, he's very much underrated, and he should deserve more recognition. My only wish though, seeing that LEGO can make a clone commander, they should have made more regular clones. But that's it for this one. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and we'll bring you more LEGO content very soon. And of course, you want to see other buildable figures, playlist is in description, card, and pinned comment. For now, that is it. Talk to you again later. Bye for now. See ya.